Dear audience, there is a famous professor and South Asian security expert, Christine Fair. On her Twitter on May 20th, 2025 at 8 p.m., she tweeted, I just walked off of Arnab Goswami's show because of the jingoistic nonsense coupled with everyone screaming. I just have better things to do with my morning than that nonsense show. Now imagine a professor, a researcher, and somebody who is quite good at delivering lectures on South Asia, Pakistan, and Indian security, although she is against Pakistan, but still, I listen to her, and you should also listen to her because somebody who points out your flaws is your friend. So I listen to her. I also listen to Ravish Kumar, an Indian journalist. I listen to Praveen Sawhney and many other journalists who are fair and they are unbiased. But look at this person, Arnab Goswami, and the team that Narendra Modi they have prepared. So why Professor Christine Fair could not sit in that show? Because what Indian media has been doing, especially in May, during 4 days clashes, what Indian media did, they tried to build a war fever and they tried to fuel it. And you know what kind of, I was watching these channels and I'm talking about English channels. Arnab Goswami's channel is an English channel and all Indian channels, you know what they were saying? They were saying that Indian army has entered Pakistan, Indian army has conquered Lahore, Islamabad, and many other cities, Karachi and Chichavatni Airport and Chakwal and Quetta, and like it seemed as if they would conquer Pakistan within 2 hours and then they'll be in Afghanistan. And I was sitting in Rawalpindi, Islamabad, and I was watching. Everything was, normal. There was nothing, no Indian. I didn't see. I went out. I saw there was no Indian soldier in Rawalpindi or Islamabad. There was nothing. Yes, there were some. The environment was a little bit like there were rockets being fired or drones being fired. We saw those drones, but Pakistan did not retaliate to those drones. Why? Because that is what India wanted. They wanted to check our response and they wanted to locate exactly where our defense mechanism were. So Pakistan Air Force is not so simple. They are smart. They have a history of best pilots. They've always outmaneuvered Indian Air Force. We had Noor Khan, Alam. And right now, we have a tradition. Pakistan has a tradition. We have superior pilots. We have, despite being a small country as compared to India, India has more planes, India has more weapons, it's so big. But Pakistan Air Force, they have never felt any pressure from India. Rather, they have always kept Indian pilots, Indian Air Force under pressure. So we were talking about media. What media was saying that India has captured all the major cities in Pakistan and Pakistan was captured. And let me tell you something. In Chichavatni, they were saying that they have destroyed the airport. There is no airport in Chichavatni. Another thing they were saying, Chakwal near Quetta. Chakwal is near Rawalpindi, Islamabad. Here, Quetta is in Balochistan. They are far away. There is no connection between them. And this is the same Arnab Goswami. When Pakistan ISI chief went to Afghanistan after Taliban's, they took control of the country. And you know what this Republic TV Arnab Goswami said? He said, I can tell you in which room in Marriott Kabul, in the Marriott, in which room they were sitting, and he said on the third floor. And then Indian journalists, they told that there was no third floor in the Serena Hotel in Kabul. Imagine, white lies. In Indian media, they were fabricating the stories, all lies, white lies, complete nonsense. And they had conquered the whole of Pakistan that night. The next morning, when people woke up, they came to know that it was the other way around. So what they did, they try to fuel, they try to misguide people because that is what Modi government wants. They want to instigate people against Pakistan. And that is what populist does. You know, they want political drive for war and nationalism, and they want to earn legitimacy from people. And they also want to use extremist, religious extremists, as Modi is using Hindutva. And they use all these sources. And well, media was not honest. If media was talking about Pulwama or Pahalgam attack, yes, they should. And Pakistan is open for investigation. Pakistan is willing to cooperate. Any international reliable agency or countries, Pakistan never said that we will not cooperate. Pakistan was willing to cooperate. So India should have done that. Now, let me share something with you that in Quetta, Jafar Express, Indian, it is impossible without Indian hand. We have Kulbhushan Yadav. We have arrested him. He was arrested from Balochistan. And what was he doing? He was doing these things. India wants to destabilize Pakistan. And in Bangladesh, they also did that. Now imagine, in 1962, when China attacked India and Indians were beaten badly, Pakistan did not attack Kashmir. Pakistan could have taken. They did not. And at that time, American President Kennedy, he also wrote that in his book, and Americans told us not to attack. So we didn't. But later on, Americans did not solve this problem. Now Donald Trump has said that I am ready to mediate, and we are thankful to him, and they should do that, because we did not attack India when India was. So Indian people should be told by the media that Pakistan is not your enemy. In 1960s, in 1962, in Nehru's government, when India was attacked by China and Indian forces were being beaten badly by the Chinese forces, there was no comparison. At that time, Pakistan had a golden opportunity, but we did not. Another thing, Golden Temple, Jarnail Singh. When Indian forces killed Jarnail Singh, at that time, Pakistan had an opportunity to support Sikhs and to fight, but we did not. So there are many occasions. Even like we had claims on different states, such as Junagadh State's Nawab and his daughter and his staff, still they sometimes come on media and they say that we have not signed the instrument of succession with India. Their claim is they want to join Pakistan. So the Indian media doesn't tell these things. And the Indian media doesn't tell these things that people in Pakistan, they like Samajwadi Party of Mulayam Singh Yadav. They like Lalu Prasad Yadav, who stood for social justice and he protected minorities. And when Lalu Prasad Yadav came in Pakistan, he was showered with rose petals. I mean, Pakistani people showed so much love. Similarly, Geeta, there was a girl, she lived in Edi, and media should tell the people of India how Geeta was treated. She was treated like her own daughter by Abdul Saridi and other people. So, and Abhinandan, we arrested him in 2019. But what we did, we returned Abhinandan. There are media clips. Why the Indian media doesn't show these things? Why? Because Modi government wants to use this media to spread war fever and war hysteria, and because they have their own nefarious designs. While Pakistan never wants war. We want to sit with India. We want to have good relationships with India, and we have no enmity. We have only Kashmir issue that should be solved, and we want to come to India. We want to see Amritsar. We want to see Delhi. I wish that there's a bullet train and we can travel from Kabul or Tehran to Delhi and then to Dhaka. So we have no enmity. But Indian media that always gives fake news, misinformation, and especially during these 4 days, the clashes, what they did, they spread nonsense. And that is why Christine Fair, she could not tolerate nonsense. And she left that show. And she did the right thing. Indian media should listen to Praveen Sahni, who is Indian, but we respect him because he's neutral, he's sensible, he's rational. We listen to Ravish Kumar. He is Indian, but we respect him we listen to him, and we genuinely respect him. So Indian media should change its means and methods and ways, the way it spreads. This peace is lost in their headlines. So I believe that, especially in the past few days when there was air clashes between Pakistan and India, Indian media, they behaved irresponsibly, and the tension, Indian media tried to increase that tension. And Indian news outlets in particular painted a picture of Pakistan cities falling to Indian forces: Rawalpindi, Islamabad, Lahore, Chakwal, Quetta, Karachi, all allegedly captured by the Indian forces. And above all, Pakistan's army chief in custody. Imagine this army chief is no ordinary person. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with General Asim Munir. He is so dangerous. I'm telling you honestly that don't mess with him. He is not an ordinary general. You will repent if you mess with him again. Yeah, what Indian media said, General Asim Munir has been arrested, and I live in Rawalpindi, Islamabad. I can tell you nothing even remotely resembling such an escalation happened while the television screens in our living rooms. I was watching Indian channels. They were buzzed with tales of tanks rolling through Pakistan and Indian army. They were entering Pakistan, Lahore, and other cities. While here, the streets outside remained eerily calm, and the usual morning calls and everything was normal. There was nothing. So this manufactured obsession with war, crafted by media, politicians, and other fanatics, has transformed the very fabric of society. And rather than advocating for peace or understanding, the public now finds itself consumed by the lust for conflict. War has become not a tragedy to be avoided, but an infatuation, a desire fueled by the headlines and political rhetoric that drown out any cause for reason. But why? How did the world go from a desire for peace to a thirst for violence? Well, we see a manufactured obsession, media's role in building a war fever, the hysteria surrounding the India-Pakistan conflict. It reached its unprecedented levels, largely driven by Indian media. Pakistani media was quite better. It was quite good. And but there are some people on Pakistani side as well who want to conquer Lal Killa, Delhi, and these sort of nonsense. We don't support them. Nobody listens to them. And they're just one, but they're not on mainstream media. You will never see them on Geo television. On Geo television, you'll see Hamid Mir, Shahzeb Khanzada, Shahzad Iqbal, all rational, sensible. Just watch the Geo television and you will see how even our Pakistan national state-controlled TV, PTV, was so restrained. So Geo TV is independent news channel, the best one. Dawn newspaper, just watch our Dawn newspaper and read our Dawn newspaper. You will see what is the standard of journalism. So, especially Indian side and even English channels in India. On the one hand, the media fed the public with dramatic reports, exaggerations, outright fabrications. And Indian television news in particular painted a picture of military triumphs that were never realized. And the narrative of Pakistani cities falling, of military leaders being captured, was so far removed from reality that it seemed like a tale crafted for the sole purpose of stoking nationalistic fervor. But why does this matter? Why does it matter that the media reports inaccurately or sensationally, they reported things? Because the media doesn't just report events, it creates them. With every bombastic headline, every exaggerated claim, the news shapes the public perception of reality. The longer this narrative is propagated, the less space there is for peaceful solutions. In essence, the media doesn't just reflect public sentiment, it exemplifies it, warping it into something dangerous. This is how psychology of war that is created, and then people don't want peace, they long for conflict. But this obsession is dangerous. It reflects a deeper societal shift where nationalism rather than peace becomes the guiding principle. So both sides, India, according to Indian reports, 70 crore people in India, they earn less than 100 rupees per day. Situation in villages in India, in slums, in big cities, that is not good. Same is the case with Pakistan. We have poverty, we have many issues. So I appeal to media on both sides and the governments on both sides and the people, educated people like Ravish Kumar, Praveen Sani, who are so rational, so sensible, so intelligent, so wise that they never tell lies. They speak the truth. Even we from across the border, we listen to them every day and we listen to them with respect. So I request all the media channels from Pakistan and from India to talk sense, to be sensible. Because war, the cost of war, that is not, that's too much. We cannot afford both sides. We should learn to live in peace. And there is one confusion that China wants Pakistan and India to fight. No. Chinese President Xi Jinping, he is a very sensible person. As far as I know, I urge the Indians to ask Praveen Sani. He will tell you what Chinese President Xi Jinping wants. I can tell you one thing. Hong Kong, Macau states, they had an issue in 1898, and you can check the internet. Chinese could have taken these areas by force, but they didn't. You know how long they waited? They waited for 100 years. And in 1997, they got it back without firing a single bullet. The patience Chinese people have shown, the Chinese state and the government, the leaders they have shown, that is unprecedented. So India and Pakistan must learn from Chinese patience and wisdom. Because if they don't learn and they keep on fighting, then it'll be dangerous for both these countries. Because I think that the main agenda should be poverty alleviation, fighting against poverty, illiteracy, hatred. And we should learn to live together in peace. And media can play a big role so that people like Christine Fair, people like Ravish Kumar, people like Praveen Sani, they should come on Indian and Pakistani both channels and we should listen to them, giving analytical, rational, deep, profound reports, enriching our knowledge so that we learn from them, and their advice at the end would be based on wisdom. And I expect nothing but good and peace from such people. So that is my desire. Thank you very much. I wanted to share these things with you. Thank you for listening to me. And media should not go for bad news. Media should go for what is truth. Thanks.